See the red lights? It means stop. And it doesn't, well, that guy already crossed. Doesn't give you enough time. Never a good sign. People do not know how to drive in Atlanta. 2 signs, run over them. That's ridiculous. Well, we've already had one person who's disabled hit in this crosswalk right here. Because these idiots don't like to stop. If y'all can't stop for them yellow lights when they come down here, daytime or nighttime, they come on, y'all need to stop. And stop driving 50 miles an hour down through here. That light's flashing up yonder, and a red light, now it's green. You gotta stop for those too. Never a good sign. Those lights flash yellow, then they turn solid red. You better have your foot on the brake. And we don't have enough time to get across the street either. Then we gotta wait for these fools to stop. Don't have enough time. You gonna stop? Because you see the flashing light. Didn't see him. Never a good sign. You see that sign over there across the street? That was put there when there used to be a crosswalk here. Somebody got hit. And then they put this in. And somebody got hit by a car. Why can't people stop?
Saturday night, the 17th Street Bridge filled with Atlanta police and EMS responding to a string of gunfire.
And as of right now, we have 5 victims shot at area hospitals.
Lieutenant Jermaine Dearlove is an Atlanta police homicide commander. He says it appears the gunfire was tied to a group of juveniles asked to leave Atlantic Station.
I believe at this time they were removed for unruly behavior and also curfew violations for Atlantic Station. The group moved off to 17th Street, right by the overpass of 75, where a dispute occurred that escalated to gunfire.
Atlantic Station released a statement saying police and EMS responded to an altercation immediately, and Atlantic Station security is working with police on the matter. Detectives spent hours on scene trying to determine who exactly is involved.
We're still working to identify and determine what exactly occurred. There may be possible, it may be between 2 groups, one shooting at another, so 2 possible shooters.
Lieutenant Dearlove says those involved are likely between 15 to 21. For now, detectives are interviewing witnesses, reviewing surveillance video, and trying to put together all the pieces.
We do our job, and we're good at a job, at identifying and putting these people in jail. We're going to do what we have to do to keep our city safe.
Road. When officers arrived, they found the men outside bleeding. Now, police believe they were attempting to break into the house when the homeowner opened fire. DeKalb investigators say the shooting is justified. They're not planning to file any charges against the homeowner. Instead, will charge the 3 surviving individuals with murder and home invasion.
This week, and each of these shootings come as communities are still mourning the victims lost in mass shootings in Virginia and Colorado last week. Over in Virginia, federal and local forensic teams say they've completed their crime scene investigation following the Walmart shooting. This past Tuesday, the store manager shot and killed 6 of his co-workers before turning the gun on himself. As of now, Walmart has not yet announced its plan for the future of the store. And we now bring you breaking news out of New York, where we have reports of 2 kids stabbed just last night. Police say the mother was taken into custody after they found her acting irrationally while responding to a call at her apartment around 7:20 p.m. Saturday night. Officers say a family friend claimed the kids were staying with their father. Around 7:55, another 911 call came from the mother's apartment reporting her 2 children found unresponsive. When officers arrived, they found an 11-month-old and a 3-year-old stabbed to death. The mother has become a prime suspect in the investigation and remains in custody. In later news, 1 man was saved in New York this weekend thanks to a quick and daring rescue. And it was all caught on police body cam video. Take a look. The video shows officers rushing down to the subway platform to rescue a man who had fallen onto the tracks. Luckily, they were able to get him back onto the platform just moments before a train could have crushed him. The man was taken to a hospital with only small injuries. And we're continuing our coverage tonight.
On the rise, I'd admit we weaponized the FBI, and then I'd quit and run and hide. We stole the last election, there was no insurrection, the left has gone insane. I'd concede I'm a loser and Pelosi is a boozer if I only had a brain. I would not be just a pedo, an old perverted weirdo, a legacy of shame. Taking showers with my daughter, a molester underwater, if I only had a brain.
Jehovah's Witness. I became an adult. I got married at a very young age. I married a football player. It didn't go, he was a superstar. It didn't go the way I wanted it to. I married someone who was not a Jehovah's Witness, so I was I was kind of disowned, so to speak, or shunned. And from there, I said, well, listen, God doesn't do that to people. Because God said, if I repent right now, that he's going to forgive me right now. So I said, this can't be right. And I started looking, okay? I looked intently. I went to liberals. I said, okay, it's a lot of druggies over here with these crazy ideas, and I can't get with that. It's not how I was raised culturally. So then I went to Democrats. I said, oh, they're giving away a lot of free stuff. Somebody got paid for that, just thinking logically, And then so I did a lot of research before I decided to, investigate Republicans. I said, you know what? I'll take this slow because I don't know what I'm getting into. And it took me about 2 years of research, and I stumbled across in my research this man who was running for office, Donald Trump, much like you. And I said, well, there's somebody, with a plan, even if you take away the party and you just look at the person and you just look at what they're invested in, somebody who's married and has children and the media was just bashing him. And I said, well, why are we bashing this man when a lot of the people we idolize, rappers, singers, T.I. was cheating on his wife every which way, and she would take him back and the media would scold him for about 2 weeks and then, they'd love him again. But this man who has done nothing but try to make sure that we have as a people, and something that, people of his caliber didn't really care about. They got all these millions of dollars. They care about these low-income people, but he did. And so I said, I support that. And in doing so, I said, well, let me get involved in my state, in the state of Georgia that I live in. I'm not from here. And I felt compelled to move. Now, in doing so, I dealt with the party. And in dealing with the party, you get into persons and personalities. You get into the people who are truly conservative Republicans, and then you got the Republicans, who a lot of people deem as rhinos because they are not putting God first. So their morals, a lot of their morals and idealizations, the things that they support, are not of God. And just call them spade a spade. And so I said, regardless of how I'm being treated, it's not about my color. Because I can go to the bank if I wanted to. You know, if I choose to stay in a lower income home area, of course I'm going to be treated like low income, because that just has to do with classism. You know, understand? So we're not at a part where it has to do about my race. Right now it has to do with the class. And in the class, socially, where do I fit in? And that was another thing. But I never felt like it was my race that was prohibiting me from anything. And so that's why I asked Hugo, how do you feel about the Republican Party? You know, were you openly accepted?